What's happening? All right. What do we got? Let's see here.
Conversation starter.
Oh, man. All right.
Great radio content.
I know, right? So to explain what's going on here, as we fire this thing up, Adam here. Well, you know what I should say? I mean, you're listening, so you know where you are. But if you don't, and it just happened here by by happenstance, well, one, you're welcome. I mean, this is
for a treat.
This is going to change your life, right? And two, this is the Talkin' Winter with Swinner podcast, where we put the S in Swinner.
Yep.
Winner. We put the S in winner because of Swinner. That's it. And we're recording here from the studios in our world headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri.
That's right.
Jason Duncan, Adam Hunter, Brent Reeder, Ken Bogeman. We're all here. This is awesome. And so Adam puts up a post on Snowplow Mafia with something just a little introduction about the systems and software that we have through SG Advantage, and the picture is what year is that thing? It's a 14? No, I think it's a 14.
Is it?
Oh, I don't think it's.
Or is it an 04?
Probably.
It's an 04.
It's an 0 something.
Yeah, it's a 2004 Jeep Wrangler Sport. It's got a Western HTS on the front, little plow, and then it's got a V-box on a trailer behind it, right? And the purpose of that
setup.
Well, so this is servicing a parking garage where there's a big weight restriction because the garage is not in great shape. So in order to de-ice, we couldn't go up there with a V-box, but we could go up there with a V-box on a trailer because it spreads out the weight enough
because of load distribution.
Right. And this dude, this Ryan guy, puts a comment on there.
Thanks for the comment, by the way, Ryan. That's what we're looking for. We're
Yeah,
looking for some engagement, man.
Yeah, he says their Facebook says they are the largest snow and ice management companies. That's funny. They are the largest companies. Anyway, it's fine. They are the largest snow and ice management companies in North America. ... But with the setup like that, I just don't see it.
That's the whole point of that picture. Everybody's got a truck. Who's got a Jeep with a V-box on a trailer? That's
right.
Right. You know what it is? Ryan's jealous.
He is.
He's like, man, if I could have more weight on a trailer than in the tow vehicle and then go out in the snow, that sounds like a good idea.
Absolutely. Hey, and Ryan, if you ever listen to our podcast, feel free to reach out to us and call us, or you can text us at 314-260. Yeah. All right, I'm going to start over. Text us. 314-260-4352, because we'd love to know what type of equipment you're running.
Right.
And give us some feedback. What are your thoughts, man?
And what would you do when you've got 16 acres of parking garage that you have to de-ice with a bulk granular material, and you cannot have a piece of equipment up there with greater than 2,400 pounds
per wheel
of concentrated wheel load?
Concentrated wheel load, yeah.
You know what you do? You get creative and you build some stuff.
That's right.
Just like that. And you know why you can do that? Because you're one of the largest, most experienced, awesome snow removal companies on planet Earth.
We put the S in winter.
That's right.
Swinter.
See, Adam, I told you, like the third week into this thing, episodes are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. This is the best one of the new series so far, and we haven't said anything of any substance yet.
That's true.
Yeah. Man, okay, you know what? So something that Nicole and I have been talking about. Mm-hmm. All right, completely not part of the topic that we're going to say here.
I felt you were going there before you even said
No. From a marketing perspective. So, like, you know how, like, was it Wendy's and Burger King are at each other's throats all the time on social media?
Oh, yeah.
So we were talking about...
It's pretty hilarious.
It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
We were joking whether or not we should reach out to some of our competitors, either in the snow business or potentially in the software business, and be like, hey, we should do this.
Yes.
And get after it.
Yeah.
She seems to think that in a more professional setting that might not work so well.
Wait, is she saying that would lack professional tone?
Have you heard that before, Jason?
I think he may or may not have been recently accused of that.
Jason, who is for those that are listening, Jason is Jason's the boy next door.
Yeah,
he's the dude you hang out with. You're gonna have a beer. You're gonna sit around the campfire. You know, he's a good dude, great dude, right?
He's okay.
Jason thought he was maybe a little better buds with a customer than he was, and got a response, criticizing the professionalism and the tone of his email.
Yeah, it's all fine.
We've all been there. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's a good time. You know what?
There's way too much backstory to that, though.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And if you haven't gotten an email from a customer,
Oh, yeah.
at some point,
Yeah.
you've not been in the business long enough.
That's true.
Wait a minute. You know what? I bet you might not have ever gotten that.
I've never been accused of that.
I said I started an email with howdy, and then said something along the lines of I forget. There was something in the signature as well that was not right, and somebody else I worked with was like, I can't believe you said that to whoever it was, and it turned out that person came back and was like, thank God, it's nice to get an email from somebody that's not so stuffy all the time. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
gamble worked.
Yeah, and we might have talked about this on a previous episode. My background is over 20 years in the Army, and I've met.
Thank you for your service, and I mean that.
Stop. I've met more than one or two or three stuffy people, and I just don't see how people can take themselves so seriously.
Well, I think I do think that there is sometimes it's not that person takes themselves that seriously. It's that they're copied on an email with other people and they have to be in charge. And their organization dictates that level of professionalism. Whereas if you were to just shoot a text or send an email directly to that person, it might be a totally different ball of wax.
So we're talking about whether you're in the 2 or the CC line. We're really getting into the grass.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's
So
fine.
anyway.
You know what? You know what you don't have to deal with in snow? Grass.
That's true.
Well, actually, hang on a second.
I've claimed my fair share of grass.
Have you met our crews?
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, actually, now that I think about it, you do have to do turf repairs, and there may or may not. Yeah, okay, fair.
No,
All
I'm
right.
talking about the crews.
I know what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and everybody else knows what you were saying too. So yeah.
I need to clarify. I'm talking about the green grass I've hit with my plow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just said you were hitting the grass. I thought everybody knew what that meant.
Nope. I'm being more clear.
Yeah, fair. Well, okay. So you know how you can prepare to either have the funds to repair the turf or cover your bail, depending on what state you live in, is if you are properly pricing your snow removal services.
That's correct.
My God, we are 7 minutes and 50 seconds into this one before we're getting anything substantive. Really? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, how time flies when
what?
you're having fun. It's going to be fine.
So
We're
you're
going to get
saying
there.
is it's helpful to know that say you have a property that every year you got to replace the turf along the sidewalk because they require lots of service
Uh-huh.
and also require you to take it
Yep.
responsibility for when the turf dies along the sidewalk.
Yeah, when you know you're going to kill all of the vegetation along the side of a sidewalk, just prepare to do that. So, yeah, so we need to bounce back, and we're going to talk a little bit about pricing. And you know why we're going to talk a little bit about pricing, right?
Because it matters.
No, because Brian from Northern New Hampshire
that's
asked about
right.
it.
Brian from New Hampshire.
He's going to
That's
hear
the
his
one.
name for a month.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Thanks, Brian. We appreciate you listening. So,
Hey,
what
Brian, pass
hell
the
are you
word
doing?
along.
Oh.
Pass the word along to other snowplow drivers up there.
Yeah. No. I happened to look over as Adam was like gnawing into the little package
I don't
of
even have it out
the
of the
mint.
package yet. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I
It's
know.
something.
Which
It's fine. All right.
Typically-
So
I don't want anybody to smell
typically-
my breath.
typically you
that
take-
we're talking to.
you take
Good thing.
take the wrapper off first. Okay.
don't. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Stopping that before it happens.
I was talking about the stupid mint.
I'm sure you were. It's fine. All right. So
Back to pricing.
All right. So let's talk about pricing types. Right. So let's what? God.
Just
It was
thinking-
Can nobody?
It was a slow boil, but we got there.
Man, you guys need to. We started talking about professional tone. For God's sakes, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, all right. Pricing types. All right. So let's start with overall contract, right? So you have, generally speaking, in the market as a whole, you're going to have per occurrence, you're going to have per event, you're going to have seasonal, you're going to have hourly, right? Those are generally what you're going to come into.
Yeah.
Hourly, everybody understands. Seasonal is a freaking, that's a dumpster fire that we can do multiple episodes on seasonal pricing.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I want to start with is your per event versus per push, right? So this
Okay.
is something that gets, that's really, it doesn't have to be confusing, but it is.
Right.
And this is something where we've again, over the last year talked with a bunch of contractors all over the country, and this topic comes up all the time. So a lot of times what happens is the customer sees 0 to 4 inches, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, whatever, 0 to 3, whatever your breakdown, your incremental inch breakdown is. And they think that if the storm's over and you got 4 inches of snow, that's your bill, right? That is per event. So per event pricing is at the end of the storm, you look at how much snow fell and your bill has to match with how much snow fell for that event. Okay. Now you may have that 4-inch price break, right? For 0 to 4 inches, but you might have had to plow that thing 3 times, right? So in that case, your bill is based on the snow, not how many times you plowed it. Okay. That's per event when it comes right down to it. And this is an important differentiator to have with your customers, because if you have per service or per occurrence pricing, then you charge every time you show up and plow that lot. Okay. So let's say that same 4-inch storm, you plowed it 3 times. Okay. Well, now it's your 0 to 4 pricing times 3 is the bill for that particular event. I know you guys all in this room get it, because my God, we talk that thing positively to death all the time. But especially if you're new to that style of pricing, it can be kind of tough to get your head around. Yeah. Right. So when you're talking with a customer and they ask you, what's your 0 to 4 pricing or your whatever, they give you an inch number, be sure to ask them, okay, well, hang on. Are you asking for how much total for that amount of snowfall? Or are you asking for how, the price for every time I come push it, and the depth that's on the lot is that much snow? And they're going to, maybe they understand, maybe they don't, but you really need to make sure that they understand that. And the reason why is because on a per event pricing, just like I said a second ago, you might have to plow on a 4-inch storm. If they've got a 1-inch trigger, you might have to plow that 2, 3, or maybe 4 times in that one single event. Make sense?
Yep.
Following?
I'm following.
Okay. Cool. All right. So that's why that's really, really important. So understand what that is, right? And then also understand what that scope of work is, because you might have a 0 to 4-inch per event contract on a low service contract, or you might only have to plow it 1 time, right? So you have to really understand what the scope of work is in order to properly price a per event contract. Nothing?
No.
Is it just
I think the problem
intuitive?
I think the problem is here that we're understanding what you're saying.
Okay, fair enough. If you're not understanding, just let us know and we'll talk more about that. But nonetheless, when you're doing that, something to consider is on your overall pricing, be thinking about on the clearing side of things, how many times that occurrence is going to happen over the course of a season, right? So if you've been in the business for any amount of time, you know that a single 8-inch snowstorm is going to bill less than 8 1-inch snowstorms. Okay. That is the difference that we're talking about here in your per occurrence versus per event. And this is especially important when you're trying to forecast what kind of revenue and profitability you're going to have off of your snow removal operations based on the part of the country that you live in. So for example, if your average snowfall in a particular market is 27 inches, okay, well, you can't look at that 27 inches and have any idea what your revenue is going to be or what your profitability is going to be. What really matters is how many days do you have more than X amount of snow, right? So, because you need to know what your occurrences are going to be, because you need to know, do you have that single 8-inch storm 3 times a year, or do you have 1-inch storms 20 times a year?
Right.
Right. So, okay. Shameless plug. Nope, not crickets. Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Shameless.
Man, you know what? We should record the shameless plug sounder with all of us doing that.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Okay.
We're not gonna, but it'd be cool if we did.
We should.
We should.
That was a good thought while it lasted.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, okay. So with SG Advantage, that is one of the things that we will do is we will get into the meteorological history for the part of the country in which you live. We can pull the individual days of snow between certain depth ranges in order to come up with a projection of what your average occurrences are in a given year. And then we could go back, and what's really fun is once we have that per occurrence pricing established for you, go back and look and take a guess and say, okay, well, I bet you that this property should have billed this much money based on your average winter, right? And then we could go back and look and see what that looks like over the last 4, 5, 6 years, however long you've had the account. And it is scary how accurate we are with that.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty. It's just one of the things that we can help you with as you're getting the system set up and using it. But anyway, so when we talk about the pricing thing is it goes back to, and again, just like we talked about a couple episodes ago, understanding your costs. If you know what the cost is to push that property one time, and you understand how much money you want to make on that cost, now you have that per occurrence price, right? So something that is really important, I think, with your pricing is having a baseline or some type of mathematical equation or some type of matrix that you can use to generate consistent pricing. The reason why that's important is if you get into, let's say you service one property with customer A, and then it's an office building or whatever. And then customer A says, hey, I've got another property I'd like you to bid. And then you give them a bid for their other property. And as far as the customer knows, they're about the same size. They're about the same, they look the same. They're about the same size, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you find yourself in a situation where now those prices are dramatically different, well, now the customer wants to know, well, hang on a second. I don't understand. Why is this so different? Right? And so you need to be able to explain that. And if you don't have some type of matrix for how you're doing your bidding, you won't be able to figure that out. That make sense?
Yep. Baseline is so important.
100%. I know that guy. He used to work here.
Okay.
There's a dude walking around outside. He used to work here. Probably stopping in and say, hey,
yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't chat. You know why?
Sorry, I got distracted wondering who was wandering around the lobby.
Yeah, no, I was like, what are you looking at? I'm like, oh, I think I was going on.
Because we're here with you guys.
That's right.
But if you want to reach out to us, may not be the best way to do it, walk up to the shop. I mean, we'll welcome you in, but the easiest way is going to be through text at 314-260-4352.
Yeah, but like that guy, though, I guarantee you that guy's armed and he could kill you with his pinky. Like with no questions asked. But anyway,
all right.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Anyway, okay. So understand your price, understand your cost, so you can establish an across the board markup, profit margin, if you will.
Right.
And then that way your pricing is roughly the same depending on where you are. Now, you might have to add some or deduct some based on proximity to your yard, how close it is, how far away it is, the type of equipment that you're going to use. There's other variables, of course, that go into that.
Sure.
But understanding and establishing that baseline and building from there is really, really important.
Yeah, I think what goes along also with understanding what your costs associated are, pardon me.
That's a good point, Jason.
Is to understand where you need to be margin wise. I'm talking in percentage of margin, right? So understanding your costs is great. And you can always say, oh, I billed above that, so I made money. Yes, you did. But in order for your business to continue to survive, what does that margin need to look like? And then what does your pricing need to look like to get you there beyond the cost?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
that's a great point.
Yeah, I do not disagree with that at all.
Brent?
No.
Brent's sleeping over there again.
No. I'm not sure how he does it.
You know what? Oh, Snoozy McSnoozerson. No?
No.
No. What about just Snoozy?
Snoozy.
No.
Mr. McSnoozerson? He's not really sleeping.
No, he's not.
No. He's just...
Yeah. Hey, will you want to grab me a drink?
No.
No? All right.
Here. Why don't you fill up this one?
It was worth a shot.
No, that's Nicole's glass. That's not to be touched. Man, again, she's not here. I mean, it's the same day.
Maybe she's tuned in.
No, it's 3 weeks later.
It's new shirt again.
New shirt.
Nice.
You know, Nicole
like
had
it.
me fill that up for her.
Dude, the neon pink.
Wait,
looks good
hang on.
you.
Well, hang on a second. She really asked you to fill up her cup?
Yeah, she was busy, and she's like, "Hey, you do anything?" I'm like, "No, why?" She's like, and she hands me the cup. I'm like,
Oh, see,
"Seriously?"
that's perfect. Here, Brent, grab this.
No, I'm not doing it for you.
I'll do.
That would have been something awesome. But
Pepsi's fine.
Yep.
Or
All right.
root beer.
Okay. So another thing that is a kind of a big deal is on your pricing, residential versus commercial. Okay. So even then, right? When you get into the commercial world, it is insane so we only do commercial work here, and we use the exact same bidding philosophy across the board. Yep. Right. And so if it doesn't, I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. For the most part, it doesn't matter if you have one property and you want a price from us. It's X, right? If you have another property the same size and you have 5 of them, it's still about the same. I mean, you get a little break with volume, but for the most part, we really try to keep our prices as low as we can. So there's not a ton of room to give breaks even on bigger portfolios. So the pricing generally stays the same across the board. If you've got a 3-acre property, it's going to pretty much be the same, regardless of where it is. And what's so bizarre is some of our customers come back and say, your pricing is higher than balls on a giraffe. I don't even understand how you stay in business. This is absolutely ridiculous. And then other times we got customers that come back with the exact same bidding philosophy and say, you guys are so cheap, you obviously have missed something.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hey, hang on. What? And so that's where, as far as your pricing goes, you're going to get that feedback across the board. You're going to have people tell you are ridiculously high. You're going to have people tell you that you're ridiculously low. You're going to have people say that you're just right. What you're looking for is that just right match, right? And if somebody comes back and says you're ridiculously low, that doesn't necessarily mean you left dollars on the table, okay? In the competitive marketplace, what has happened is they've had somebody that's probably been doing it for 20 years, and every year they had 3%, and as much as we wish that was doable in the snow world, that's not really how it goes. So over that time frame, we've definitely picked up contracts where they've said, "My God, you guys are cheap," and then we find out what they were paying, and that's generally can you think of one that wasn't the case, where somebody was just way overpaying and didn't even know it, and it wasn't because of that?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's usually because they've had the same vendor for 20 years, like you said.
They think they're getting a break because of loyalty, but in reality, they need to check the market.
Right.
Well, and it's fair to assume 3%
Right.
markup, because that's pretty much industry standard. I mean, our equipment goes up at least 3% every year, and all our other costs are going up.
Well, it didn't used to be. So
no, it's been the last 4 years.
Yeah. So so here, I mean, really since what?
Nothing. I was agreeing with him.
You had a weird smile.
Yeah, that smile did not make me trust him.
Oh, well.
Like there's
If I had $1 for every time I heard that.
fair enough.
I feel like I stepped in something and I'm not quite sure what it was.
Wow. So really after the pandemic, things have gone nuts across the board. But pre-pandemic, it was pretty common to not really see price increases in, a long time. I mean, if there was, you might have a small fluctuation in material because it's a commodity, but labor costs and the equipment costs were all pretty stagnant when it comes right down to it. I mean, there wasn't, you didn't see, on a 3-year contract ends and you raise the price, 10 or 15%. I mean, that just didn't happen. You might bump it up a little bit, but not a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, it pretty well stayed true. So
yeah, but now, this is one of the things that you get into with, I think what they call it, the gig economy.
Yep.
Where people are, instead of driving a plow truck, well, hell, they'll just go drive Uber, or they'll go do Lyft, or they'll go do DoorDash, or they'll go do whatever the hell else is out there that it's just, oh, I want to work today. Okay, fine.
I'm going to be an influencer.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Not knocking you. I know it works for Jason, but
Well, he's got the bod for that though.
for sure. Yeah.
Smoke show.
You the
over there.
man.
No.
Did you just?
No.
I
was a wince.
No,
It was a wince?
No, it was
That was
a
a
moan.
wince.
Dude, it sounded like a moan.
Well, whatever you think it
We
sounded like.
talked
it
about
wasn't.
Jason's rockin' bod.
thought he farted.
I'm not. Okay,
All right.
man,
Wow.
off the rails fast. Anyway,
Yeah, quick.
yeah. Okay, so I guess where I'm going with that though is that what we've seen here and what I've heard from contractors all over the country at this point is that there are, do not hesitate to stick to your pricing, but understand why you're sticking to it. Do not just pull a number out of the air and say, I want X amount of dollars for that. And then don't back off of it, because if you don't know why you're generating that price, you don't have any reason to stick to it.
Yeah, you got to know your why. I think one of the most important things establishing the relationship with the client is educating the client, because they may only see it from their perspective. But if you're able to educate them on why it's a certain way, then they have a better understanding of why the way things are.
Yeah. No, that's
It's
great.
pretty simple, but it explains a lot.
Well, and what you can't do, well, I shouldn't say can't, you can do whatever the hell you want, but it's a customer is going to really appreciate a fact-driven conversation wherein if you were to say, look, here's the deal, my price is this way because my equipment is X, my labor is Y, my markup is Z, that's what gives me this price.
Yep.
You know, I understand my price. I understand why this is the price it is. I understand the market. I understand my business. I know what I'm talking about. I'm coming into this conversation from a position of authority. You can trust me. I'm a professional. This is my business. Here's why. Customer goes, okay, yeah, fair enough. You know, and then they go to another contractor that says, hey, this price seems a little high. Can you explain that to me? That's just what it's going to take.
Yeah.
Okay, of the two of you guys,
Right.
even if the customer may hire the cheaper one if that's what it's going to take, but they will respect you more
Sure.
as somebody that is actually established in this industry.
Yeah. And then the following season, when the guy who said, yeah, it's just what it's going to take, underperforms, you're first on the list. If he
100%.
underperforms.
Yeah. And that's actually a really, really good point. That I didn't have written down. Do you have that written down? Or did
I drink and I know things.
you just,
Do you see it on your paper? I don't see it. Do you see it?
he can't see it. He can't see it. But no, okay, that's a really, really good point is when you have a contract and it's up for renewal and the customer goes with a lower price, do not be offended by that. Don't let that hurt your feelings. Don't let that be an issue. Don't turn that into a reason to second guess the way you're doing what you're doing. Understand that there's always somebody cheaper.
Yep.
And understand that the reason why your price is what it is because you know your numbers, you understand your costs, you understand the margin that you need to make your business a viable business, and that is your price. By the way, if you don't understand any of that stuff, SG Advantage is a fantastic tool for helping with that.
Yep.
Anyway, so wait. Wait. Shameless plug. Shameless plug. It's fine.
So if that's a shameless plug, what's the example of a shameful plug? Oh, no,
damn it! That wasn't the right button.
I wanted the full plug.
I think you know what that is.
Not what I was looking for.
It's not what you said.
we'll
last
work on it.
night.
Shameful plug. Shameful's a television show, isn't it?
Shameless.
Shameless. Okay.
Yeah.
I've not seen it. I've heard it's good though. Is it good?
Yeah,
You said that with hesitation though.
you got to watch it. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't.
You
I
may
don't know
not
how
watch
to.
it with your 15-year-old son.
No.
Okay. So we're going to call that an inappropriate television show.
A very, very inappropriate.
Okay. Fair enough.
And
Okay. Real quick around the room. Favorite television shows. Brent, go.
I can't do that on the spot.
What? Adam.
Friends.
Friends.
I love Friends.
Jason.
MASH.
MASH. All right. Supernatural for me.
Brent.
Yeah, there's too many.
There's not one that stands out as like, this is it. Like if there was a convention and
Is
you'd
it
be there.
supernatural because of
No.
the Winston guy
Let's
or
be
whatever?
real.
You son of a... Hang on a second. Jason's now off. He can't talk anymore. I just muted him.
Brent has been
Jason,
working.
let me help you.
Hear him laughing in the background through Adam's mic? It's because his mic's off.
Brent's been working since he's like 3. I don't even think he had time to watch television.
Yeah.
I
Nicole,
enjoy television. I'm not getting fanatic about any one show.
it's because you haven't watched Supernatural.
Yeah, that's okay.
Dad's been on a hunting trip. Hasn't been home in a few days.
You know, I really love 24. when it was
Supernatural
on.
fans got it.
24 was good.
Never heard of it.
What?
What?
Kiefer Sutherland?
Dude, even I've heard it 24 and I
come
don't
on,
watch
man.
television.
Yeah, we used to watch it. It was okay. It was predictable. After like the second
The
episode,
good
you knew
guy
exactly
wins?
Yeah, it was a very
At
predictable show.
23:59, the good guy wins.
Well, yeah, because if the good guy won at hour 1, they'd miss 23 hours of billable time.
Oh, look,
right.
I've got this.
Speaking of bidding.
Speaking of billable time.
I've got this SD card that has the secrets to everything. Oh, someone mysteriously wiped it out with some piece of technology that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can remember that, but you can't figure out what your favorite show is.
Yeah, you jogged my memory.
Well, it's clearly not 24.
Yeah. Blossom, what do you got?
Dawson's Creek.
I was a
Dawson's Creek.
I was a big
Vanderbeek.
fan of Game of Thrones,
Oh, Game of Thrones. I'm currently rewatching that right
and I enjoy all the new, I guess the new one,
now. House of Dragon.
House of Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like
House
a
of
lot
Dragon,
things.
isn't that a Chinese restaurant that serves up pigeon?
Yes, and
And a good television show.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to jog my memory for everything.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I already said MASH.
I know. I'm
Mash was good.
I'm just trying to. I guess you're out of the. Man, okay, no kidding. If Nicole was here and you dogged on Supernatural, that would be a problem.
I didn't dog. I asked if it was the Winston guy.
You would be the one getting
Or what's
something,
his real name?
Something.
Okay, in
Charles
real
Winston.
life, you're talking Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki are the two dudes that are the brothers that play Sam and Dean Winchester.
Winchester. I was close, man.
You know,
was
I
in
tried
Winston.
showing it to you. I guess you couldn't read it.
Wait,
So-
Winchester. I was
Yeah.
way off.
Yeah. So
Can you read that?
No, he can't. It smells like Dean Winchester.
Yeah, it's a candle that smells like Dean Winchester saving another life. It's a candle I got Nicole for Christmas a couple of years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. Well, for this year, we were going to take her to the Supernatural Convention in Jersey, but we got to doing the math, and it's a little pricey. So
Hey,
couldn't quite swing it. We'll go to another one some other time.
So instead, she just got nothing.
No, she didn't get
I'm
nothing.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's all good. No, she got actually a lot of tickets to the Muni actually. Yeah, worked out good. Man, we are way off topic.
Yeah, we
But
were
this is
talking.
like the third or fourth episode in a row that we've brought Nicole into it, though.
we were talking about
She's gonna be happy.
season. We were talking about seasonals.
do you miss her?
or something?
I do. She's not here.
I know.
Yeah, she's my better half.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fair enough.
Jason,
We
no comment?
actually weren't even talking about seasonal pricing, but we should. Okay, man. All right.
What'd you say? You're what?
What?
I didn't hear you. Oh, okay.
Okay.
He
Good
must
talk.
be muted again.
No, we're good. All right. So we've talked about a bunch of pricing stuff. We kind of got a little off track there. That's fine. We were on residential versus commercial. We don't do a lot of residential work here.
We don't.
So that's something where, and the reason why we don't do a lot of residential work is so if we were to, so let's break residential down. You got driveways are kind of one monster, and then you've got HOAs that are on, you have a street, for example, that you're going to take care of the street for the HOA. And then you have residential communities, right? So you're talking apartments and condos, right? So what I can tell you is from the work that we've done in the slip and fall litigation arena, residential communities, so apartment complexes, condos, things like that, your single highest incident rate of slip and fall claims that result in big cost to the vendor, that's where they're going to fall. And the reason for that is because a lot of times when you're the plow vendor on something like an apartment complex or a condo complex, you're hired to take care of the parking lot, not the sidewalks. And there's not a lot of good differentiation between what's a sidewalk and what's a pedestrian area, what's a sidewalk, what's a parking lot. So, for example, somebody walks off of the sidewalk onto the asphalt, but the asphalt that they're stepping on is clearly a pedestrian area, because you can't. It's blocked by a dumpster enclosure, or there's vehicles in the way, or whatever it is. Well, if it's on the asphalt, whose responsibility is that? Is that the parking lot, or is that part of a pedestrian walkway that should be handled by the sidewalk crew?
Right.
Well, now you're in this gray area, right? And generally speaking, if you're only doing the parking lot and the complex's in-house staff is going to handle the sidewalks, quote unquote, well, now this area gets left undone. And I guarantee you that they're going to pin that on you when somebody falls there. And somebody's
sure.
going to fall there because nobody clears it. So you get into things like that. I mean, that's a big part of the consulting work that we do through SG Advantage, is helping you understand, what's your actual service requirements on things like that. there's a lot there is a lot of consideration that you have on just the liability side when you're doing residential work, and a big part of that is if in a slip and fall case, because somebody slipped and fell walking into XYZ retail store, right? Well, they chose to go to that store. They didn't necessarily need to go there on that day. But when you're talking about a residential community, this is where people live, right? So they have to take the trash out. They have to walk the dog. They have to go to doctor's appointments. They have to come and go from where they live, from their home. So that is a different perspective from a juror than is I went to go return a pair of shoes because the next day my 30 days would have expired and I wasn't sure if they were going to take it back. Well, a juror might go, well, hang on just a second. You chose to go out in that. You didn't need to do that.
Right.
I'm not sure. But when somebody has to go to a doctor's appointment because they've got XYZ affliction and they have to go to that doctor's appointment, and you didn't clear the parking lot area so that they could get there safely, you're done. I mean, jurors eat that up, man. So that's something where you got to really be careful there. So, and if you've got questions on what your liability is, what your risk is, how that goes and why, there's a couple things you can do. You can talk to an attorney about it. You can talk to your insurance agent about it, and they're going to give you the insurance perspective and the legal perspective. Or you're welcome to talk to us about it. And we can talk to you all about the experience we have in hundreds of cases that we've been involved in. And I think we're up to like 30 states now that we do work in on that. So it's something where we can definitely be of assistance for you on that as well. So happy to help, but this isn't a liability thing. This is pricing.
Right.
Man. And we're a little over time.
Although, doesn't liability figure in somewhat in the pricing?
Well, that's a good point.
Can.
It really should. I mean, that's something where, if you know that you are at a much higher risk factor on a certain site, you should absolutely understand that and price it accordingly.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Hey, Brent.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, bud. How are you?
Doing good.
You all right over there?
Yeah.
Are you pondering your favorite television show?
He's still thinking about it.
No.
No.
Yeah. Unlike most people, I don't go home and watch TV.
I don't know if that should be an insult or.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I don't know. I don't really go home and watch TV. I'll get suckered into a show and then I'll binge it until it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
with
do
you.
that.
Same here.
Yeah.
And then I forget what I watched.
Netflix. It's not really TV. It's just kind of Netflix here and there.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay. All right. One more television show question, and then we'll maybe wrap this thing up.
Okay.
Are you watching any current shows?
Yeah, I'm rewatching Game of Thrones.
No. Current.
Oh,
What
any
would- what would be
current shows?
considered-
Currently out.
True Detective.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
What?
So I did start watching, what was it? Tacoma?
Isn't that a weird? That's like a pickup truck, isn't it?
No,
Toyota.
it's the fire department.
Oh, Tacoma FD.
Yeah.
It's the
Is that like
guys,
Reno 911?
It's the guys from Super Troopers and
So it is like Reno 911.
yeah, and the
It's got Farva as the
the fire
as
chief.
the fire chief.
Hey.
yeah.
Take a liter of cola.
All right.
Right here.
Yeah.
Hold my cup.
I did just start watching that. That's
Yeah.
it's not great, but it's good to watch passively. It's pretty good.
Adam, you watching anything?
I don't really have anything. I am a huge fan of the binge watching. I'll find a series or I'll find something and then
Not
Boom.
sleep for a week and watch it. Yeah.
or 2 or 3 days.
I'm watching Masters of the Air.
Yeah.
I heard you
yeah.
talk about that. That's
What
pretty
is
good.
that?
Yeah.
That's
So
probably something
so what?
I'll look into.
What is it?
It's about the B-17 flying fortresses in World War II, doing bombing in
Okay.
Germany and
You
stuff.
had me
yeah.
at World War II.
So it's
Yeah, it's
similar.
good.
It's similar in content and style to Band of Brothers and The Pacific.
So it's not a documentary.
Oh no,
Oh. Okay.
All right, I'm doubting myself. Was it the C-17? Crap. I think that's right.
What are you trying to say?
The flying fortress was that the flying fortress, was that the B-17?
I think it was a B-27.
Got to be accurate, or people are going to comment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking it up. Hang on. All right, hang on. It was the B-17. I was right.
All right.
Yes. Well, at least that's what Wikipedia says it is. So,
Well, B27.
All right.
That's a vitamin. I was close.
So I took a look at what I've streamed recently, and you caught me off guard, but The Witcher is something that
Oh, The
I
Witcher.
watch religiously. I've read all the books.
Yeah.
nice.
I love that show.
And the show actually does pretty good justice to the books.
A lot better than Wheel of Time or anything like that. Where it just said, the heck with the books. We're going to do our own story.
Right.
Yeah. All right. You know, and you know why we can watch these shows? Because we make enough money at work to allow us to do so.
That's
and you
right.
know why?
Because we price things right.
we price things right. See what we just did there?
I was kind of
Pricing.
confused where you're going with that, but I'm
Pull it
glad,
back in.
it ended up there.
I'm trying
put
to
the S
full
in
circle things in.
pricing.
So if you listening to this podcast would like more time to binge watch shows, price your stuff right, man.
Yeah.
There it is.
You know the old saying, you can either have time and no money or money or no time?
No, I don't have time or money.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying that doesn't have to be true.
That's fair. Yeah. Spend all your money on stuff and things, and spend more time working to get more stuff and things. Because he who dies with no stuff wins.
That's right. And if you were to price things accordingly, you could have both time
That's true.
and money.
That's true.
I'm
true.
not quite sure that's the right philosophy, but I mean,
What? About he who dies with no stuff wins?
yeah.
Was clearly
Can't take it with you, man.
sarcasm.
Oh, you can take it with you if you got a big enough casket.
That's right.
Yep.
Until some grave robber comes along and takes all your stuff.
That's fine. I mean, worked for the Egyptians.
That's
You
right.
got big. Anyway, it's fine. Man, all right. So, all right, price. Do we?
Hey, would you want like a snow pile, like a pyramid? Is that
like a snow pile pyramid?
Oh,
Yeah.
To be buried in?
That's
You're
kind of clever.
you're a snow guy, so you want to go to like
that'd be-
Antarctica?
That'd
and
be
we'll-
great until March.
Right. Well, it depends on where you bury me.
Hey, there's Ken on an iceberg, guys. 40 years ago.
You know, Ken in the cold isn't very attractive, though. Especially if I'm dead. I don't think it'd be good.
I don't know where I'm supposed to take that, but I'm gonna
Nowhere.
leave it
In
alone.
fact, you know, I should have caught that before. Yep, we're done. Okay. Man, I hope there was something educational in this one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if not,
Call us.
yes, give us a shout. 314-260-4352. Love to hear from you. Really, thanks everybody for stopping by and checking this thing out. This is the Talkin' Winter with Swinter podcast. Jason Dungan. Who the hell are you? Adam Hunter.
Boom.
Boom. Sleepy McSleeperson. No.
No.
Brent Reeder. I'm Ken Bogeman from Swinter Group's headquarters here in St. Louis, Missouri. Thanks so much for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to hearing from you. See ya.